Students, we have completed the third chapter. We have completed the third chapter, what is government. And then today we are going to start the fourth chapter of our political science, that is key elements of a democratic government. See students, in our last chapter, in our previous chapter, that is what is government, in that lesson we had studied the levels of government, that is local level, state level, and the national level. As well as, if you remind, we also studied the two types of government, that is democratic government and the aristocratic government. So students, in this chapter number 4, key elements of a democratic government, we are going to study only the democratic government. In this chapter we are going to study the key elements of a democratic government. Key elements means what? Key elements means major elements which influences the work of democratic government. Democratic government, as I told you, that it is लोकशाही सत्ताक राज्य, लोकशाही असलेलं राज्य, लोकशाही असलेला देश, that is democracy. And which are the major elements or the key elements which are influences on the work of democratic government. So students, let's see on your screen you can see that there is a map of a world has shown, and in that India, you can see here India as well as in South Africa. These two major countries have shown on the map of the India. You know that in India there is a democratic government, as well as in South Africa there is also a democratic government. See, on your screen you can see that there is a map of the world has shown, and on that map India and South Africa, these two countries has shown, and in these two countries there is a democracy or a democratic government. See students, our lesson starts with, our chapter starts with one event that is a one event. One girl is there named Maya Naidu. On your screen you can see Maya Naidu. So this Maya Naidu, an 11-year-old girl who is living in a South Africa. She's a southern African girl who is living in South Africa with her mother, and that girl's name is Maya Naidu. See, once again I am going to explain the event. This Maya Naidu, this girl is helping her mother to clean the old boxes, and in that old boxes she got a newspapers, and in that newspaper there are different articles are there, and that articles are related to the one young schoolboy. See, that articles are related to the schoolboy, one young schoolboy around 15 years of age. And this Maya Naidu asked her mother about the newspaper articles and about that boy whose name is, that boy's name is Hector Peterson. That boy's name is Peterson, who is living in South Africa. So it creates a curiosity in the mind of Maya Naidu, and she asks her mother about this boy, Hector Peterson. And now her mother is explaining one event related to the Hector Peterson. See students, this incident happened in the South Africa. In If you should know about the South Africa. South Africa is a country. South Africa is a country where several races of people living. Just like in the South Africa, you can see black people, white people, as well as Indians. Indians are also there, and Indians are also there. See, such a type of different types of races you can see in the South Africa. Black peoples who belong to the South Africa, then white peoples who came there to settle, and the Indians who came there as a laborers and the traders. So such a type of variety of races you can see in the South Africa. So this Maya Naidu asked questions about the Hector Peterson to her mother, and now her mother is telling something about the Hector Peterson. So her mother says that mm, in South Africa, in earlier days, earlier governed by the apartheid laws. See, her mother tells her that South Africa was governed by the apartheid laws. सी तिच्या आई माया नायडू जेव्हा तिच्या आईला विचारते की हा हेक्टर पीटरसन कोण होता, जेव्हा माया नायडू न्यूजपेपरवरचे आर्टिकल्स वाचते, न्यूज वाचते, तिला एक सारखं नाव दिसतं की हेक्टर पीटरसन इज अ स्कूल बॉय, 15 years old स्कूल बॉय. अँड व्हेन शी आस्क्स अबाउट द मदर, तिच्या आईला विचारते कोण होता हेक्टर पीटरसन, तिची आई काय सांगते की साऊथ आफ्रिका इन द अर्लियर डेज गव्हर्न बाय द अपार्थेड लॉज. साऊथ आफ्रिकामध्ये काय होतं तर अपार्थेड लॉज होते. आता व्हॉट डू यू मीन बाय अपार्थेड लॉज? अपार्थेड लॉज म्हणजे काय तर अपार्थेड मीन्स सेपरेशन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रेस. बघा साऊथ आफ्रिकामध्ये कोणत्या प्रकारचा गव्हर्नमेंट लागू होते किंवा लॉज होते, कायदे होते तर अपार्थेड मीन्स व्हॉट separation on the basis of races. It means that South Africa was divided into black people, white people, Indians and the color races. So according to this law, see apartheid law, according to this apartheid law, these all races not allowed to mingle with each other, to live near each other, or even to use common facilities. See what is apartheid law? According to this apartheid law, the South African peoples who are related to the different races cannot mingle together, cannot live together, or cannot यूज कॉमन फॅसिलिटीज. म्हणजे साऊथ आफ्रिकामध्ये व्हाईट, ब्लॅक आणि इंडियन्स अशी ज्या रेसेस होत्या त्या एकत्र राहू शकत नव्हत्या किंवा कॉमन फॅसिलिटीज वापरू शकत नव्हत्या. प्रत्येकासाठी वेगळा वेगळा कायदा होता. दिस इज अ अपार्थेड लॉ. सी स्टुडंट्स, अपार्थेड लॉ मीन्स व्हॉट? प्रत्येकासाठी असलेला वेगळा कायदा. अकॉर्डिंग टू देअर रेसेस, अकॉर्डिंग टू देअर कलर्स, त्यांच्या कलर्सवरून किंवा त्यांच्या रेसेसवरून, वंशावरून त्यांना वेगळे वेगळे कायदे दिले जायचे, म्हणजे वेगळी वेगळी वागणूक दिली जायची. दॅट इज अपार्थेड लॉ. Then Maya could not believe that such a type of worst law was in the Africa, and her mother tells her that this Hector Peterson was living in a South Africa and was studying in a school, but what happened? See, one black township was the southwestern township where all the black peoples were living. साऊथ आफ्रिकामध्ये एक टाउनशिप होती, ब्लॅक टाउनशिप, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये फक्त ब्लॅक पीपल राहायचे, नेम्ड सोवेटो, आणि त्या सोवेटोमध्ये हा हेक्टर पीटरसन राहायचा. अँड वन डे व्हॉट हॅपन? हेक्टर पीटरसन लिव्ड हिअर अँड ही अँड हिज क्लासमेट्स जॉईन द प्रोटेस्ट अगेन्स्ट द लर्निंग द आफ्रिकन्स लँग्वेज इन स्कूल. आणि तेव्हा ज्या प्रोटेस्ट बंड केले जायची किंवा विरोध पुकारला जायचा, तेव्हा हेक्टर पीटरसन आणि त्याच्या मित्रांनी एक प्रोटेस्ट केला, एक बंड पुकारलं अगेन्स्ट द आफ्रिकन्स लँग्वेज. म्हणजे त्यांना आफ्रिकन्स लँग्वेजमध्ये प्रोटेस्ट केला. आणि ॲक्च्युली ह्या मुलांना काय करायचं होतं तर African languages were spoken by the white peoples, and these white peoples were forces them to learn in this African language, but actually the students want to learn in their native language Zulu. ह्या मुलांना झुलू ह्या त्यांच्या स्थानिक भाषेतून शिक्षण घ्यायचं होतं, परंतु व्हाईट पीपल्स त्यांच्यावर फोर्स करत होते की त्यांनी आफ्रिकन्स लँग्वेजमधून शिक्षण घ्यायचं. आणि ह्याच्यामध्येच मग द आफ्रिकन पोलीस बीट अप दिस प्रोटेस्टर्स mercilessly and shot at the crowd. One of the bullet killed Hector. This was in 16 June 1976. आणि मग काय झालं की साऊथ आफ्रिकेमध्ये असा हा अपार्थेड जो लॉ होता त्याच्यानुसार काय केलं जायचं तर द डिफरंट वी कॅन से द लॉज वेअर मेड टू द डिफरंट, मीन्स व्हाईट लोकांसाठी वेगळा लॉ, ब्लॅक पीपलसाठी वेगळा लॉ, इंडियनसाठी वेगळा लॉ, असे लॉ होते. इट मीन्स दॅट द बेस्ट थिंग्स, बेस्ट प्लेसेस, बेस्ट फूड, बेस्ट हॉस्पिटल्स, बेस्ट एज्युकेशन इज ओनली फॉर द व्हाईट पीपल. See students, all best things only for the white peoples, and all worst things, worst means bad, all worst things all for the ब्लॅक पीपल्स. असं हे डिव्हायडेशन केलेलं होतं की सगळ्या चांगल्या गोष्टी त्या फक्त व्हाईट लोकांसाठी, आणि ज्या वाईट गोष्टी आहेत, खराब गोष्टी आहेत, त्या सगळ्या कोणासाठी तर ब्लॅक पीपल्स. इट मीन्स दॅट द बेस्ट हॉस्पिटल्स अँड द वेल इक्विप्ड ॲम्ब्युलन्सेस आर फॉर द व्हाईट पीपल्स, and the worst conditions, poor conditions are only for the black peoples. What happened? And this event is happened in 1976. This is the poor condition, bad condition of Africa. South Africa was in 1976. Then what happened? Then the African, the Nelson Mandela. See the Nelson Mandela, one of the most well known leader. Nelson Mandela fought against these apartheid laws, against the apartheid government. See, the Nelson Mandela हे सगळ्यांच्या विरुद्ध apartheid laws बद्दल protest केलं, and finally they succeeded in 1994, and this Nelson Mandela succeeded in his protest against the apartheid law. Apartheid law means the law which is depend on the races वर केला गेलेला होता. Then in 1994 Nelson Mandela become successful in his protest, and South Africa became a democratic country in which people of all races were considered equal. See, Nelson Mandela fought against this apartheid system, against the race system, that is white, black, Indians and the color races, and then he became successful in 1994, and democratic government came to existence in the South Africa, and all races, all people were considered as a equal. It means that equality comes in the existence in 1994 because of the Nelson Mandela नी या अपार्थेड लॉज विरुद्ध प्रोटेस्ट बंड पुकारलं, विरोध केला आणि 1994 मध्ये सक्सेसफुल झाली. सो स्टुडंट, दिस इज द ॲक्च्युअल कंडिशन ऑफ द South Africa. It means that in just we have seen in South Africa there was a apartheid laws, and because of the Nelson Mandela, South Africa becomes a democratic country. Democratic country means what? Democratic government, it means of the people, by the people and for the people. लोकांनी लोकांच्यासाठी लोकांच्याकडून चालवलेलं गव्हर्नमेंट म्हणजेच डेमोक्रेटिक गव्हर्नमेंट, लोकशाही सत्ताक देश. Then see students, participation. So in this democratic government, how people participate? As we know that through elections, see, through elections we can people can choose their leaders, choose their representatives, and these representatives form a government. This government is called a democratic government. Participation means how people participate in this democratic government. People by voting, by elections, they choose their leaders and representatives. These leaders and representatives form a government, and these leaders and representatives takes a decision for the people, for the people on behalf of them, as well as this government is answerable to the people, because people has selected these leaders, the representatives through elections. So see, and these governments or these elections are elected, these leaders are elected for a fixed periods. See, these leaders are elected for the fixed periods. In India this period is 5 years. तुम्हाला माहिती असेल की आपल्या भारत देशामध्ये 5 वर्षांना इलेक्शन्स होतात, आणि हे जे लीडर्स आपल्या लोकांनी निवडलेले असतात, रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह निवडलेले असतात, ती किती वर्षासाठी कार्यरत असतात? तर 5 वर्षांसाठी, 5 years. Once elected governments can stay in power for a fixed period, that is for 5 years. And after 5 years, and if they want to continue, if these leaders and these representatives wants to continue to be in the power, if they wants to be in the power again, they have to re-elected by the people. This is a moment which people can sense their power in a democracy. In this way, there is a power in the hands of people to elect or to give vote to the person or the leader they want, and this person, these elected leaders, represented form a government for a particular time, for a fixed time, that is for the 5 years. 5 वर्षासाठी हे निवडलेले लोक आहेत, जे लीडर्स आहेत, ते 5 वर्ष पॉवरमध्ये राहतात, आणि जर त्यांना कंटिन्यू पॉवर करायची असेल तर ॲक्च्युली दे वॉन्ट टू रिइलेक्ट बाय द पीपल, अँड these leaders are answerable to the people. So students, this is the one way to work in the democratic government, that is voting. Then other ways of participating, it means that people also participate through elections, as well as I told you, elections, then campaigns, rallies, then uposhan, dharnas, strikes. These are the different ways in participating the government. It means that the people are not ready to accept the decision taken by the government. They can do signature campaigns, they can do rallies, they can do uposhan, they can do dharnas. So these are the different ways, different ways that the people can participate in the work of government, as well as they influence the work of government. Then here is one example has given in August 2005, when government increase the money, people had to पे फॉर द इलेक्ट्रिसिटीमध्ये जेव्हा गव्हर्नमेंट 2005 मध्ये रेट्स वाढवले, पीपल डिड नॉट लाईक धिस डिसिजन ऑफ द गव्हर्नमेंट. So they made campaigns, different campaigns, and at finally government listened to people's opinion and withdraw the increase. So these are the different ways that people can participate and influence the work of government. So students, remaining part we will see to the remaining points we will see to the next session in our next. Till then, take care and have a good day.